All Indiana Podcast Network.
This is AC's Conversations.
AC's Conversations is about sports, music, TV, movies, and more.
Everything and more.
Everything is ready to go.
That include the latest news and rumors, along with interviews with the biggest names in sports and entertainment.
This
is AC's Conversations with your host,
News 8 Sports Director.
The man is the real deal.
Let's go to work, fella.
Anthony Calhoun.
Hey, good evening to you guys. As you mentioned, Kevin's here with us. KB, good seeing you as always,
yes.
man. Now, all right, so yesterday, that's 2 wins in a row for this football team. How big of a win was it, though, for the Colts against the Dolphins?
Heck, I stretch it to 4 or 5, too. You know, when you're in that 0-2 hole to start the year, and it's over Miami, an AFC team, and if you look at the playoff standings, and I know that might scare some people in mid to late October, but Miami was knocking on that door. So, you know, if the Colts are going to be a wild card team, wins over AFC teams, getting head-to-head tiebreakers, I know it might seem early in the season to worry about it, but in 2 months, AC, we could come back and look at Week 7 and say, it might have been ugly, but that's a really big win.
Yeah, you'll take the win. And so you think about this, you got a win against Miami, you got a win against the Steelers as well, and the AFC as well. Okay, so as far as the head coach here, Shane Steichen, his team started off to an 0-2 start. And as you mentioned now, winners are 4 of the past 5 games. What is it about the Colts head coach here that has impressed you the most?
You know, it's funny, AC, they have played 7 games, all of them one-score games. And if you look at the other teams around the league that have done that, they all have very bad records. So what's the difference? Why are the Colts 4-3 versus these teams with 1 and 2 wins? The Colts are the least penalized team in the NFL, and I think that comes from your head coach. They are a very disciplined unit. You saw Shane Steichen himself have a sneaky little timeout he stole from Miami yesterday. That could have been the difference, honestly, on that final drive. So, again, I know it's not maybe the most eye-popping things, but stuff like that, you know, being more disciplined in a game where scoring is 16-10, oftentimes that can be the difference. And in each of these last 2 wins, that's been the difference. Tennessee had a ton of penalties last week, and Miami, especially early on yesterday, had a lot of penalties as well.
Oh, that's good intel there. The least penalized team in the NFL. All right, so meanwhile, the Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson back for the first time after missing the last 2 games because of that oblique injury. We saw some good from AR, and we saw some bad from AR. What needs to get fixed quickly because they're going into a tough stretch coming up?
Well, certainly the passing offense had issues, and I don't think it was just Anthony Richardson's inaccuracy yesterday. That was a part of it. I thought guys struggled to get open. I thought he was probably under the most pressure. He has been all season long. But specifically, that's the big question, AC. Entering the NFL, it was how accurate of a quarterback could he be? And here we are midway through year 2, and that question, I would say, has frankly only grown. Based off where it was, you know, even last season. And this turnover was critical yesterday as well. You know, those are just things he can't have. As far as the good, he did run the football very well. And I think that is an important element to get this offense a little more multidimensional. It's kind of wild to think the Colts had their most rushing yards of the season yesterday without Jonathan Taylor. But again, that's the leg element that he brings to the table. So certainly as a passer, he's got to get better because you have to have your offense more potent when you go into this tough schedule coming up.
All right, so look, folks, we're not going to even show you their next 5 games because you're going to do this. Oh, my goodness. Are you serious? But we're going to talk about the game coming up on Sunday, and it's a massive game on the road in Houston against the Texans. The Colts win, then they're tied for first place in the AFC South. How big of a game is this for the Horseshoe?
Yeah, it's funny. I just listened to D'Amico Ryans, Houston's head coach, his press conference, and he uttered the phrase, if you can't get it ready for this, then why even show up? So they know it. And, you know, they're the ones that beat Indianapolis to start the season. So monumental game. I would call this one of the biggest regular season games, certainly all year long. It's kind of weird. You play Houston twice before Halloween. So it's a huge one. And Houston's without their top wideout in Nico Collins. We'll see. Sounds like some optimism around Jonathan Taylor and DeForest Buckner, their potential return. So just an absolutely monumental game. If you want to have a chance, realistic chance, at winning your first division title in a decade, you got to get this done on the road on Sunday.
And the NFL is watching indeed. They know this is a big matchup coming up on Sunday. We told you at the top of the show, the Colts game at the Vikings next week has been flexed to Sunday night prime time. The Colts also have another primetime game against Aaron Rodgers and the Jets a few weeks after that. So big week coming up for the Colts. We got you covered right here on Wish TV. And, of course, we'll be live in Houston with our pregame show and, of course, postgame after the Colts against Texans. More of the Colts tonight at 6. We'll send it back to you guys now.
Discover more at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to follow and subscribe to the AC's Conversations podcast and others on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Connect now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.